Imagine arriving at work on a normal Tuesday morning. You grab your coffee, open your laptop, check your email, and then you see it. A message from HR.
Your position has been eliminated, but here's the thing. This isn't because your company is struggling. It's not because you made a mistake or missed a target or showed up late. No, your position has been eliminated simply because an AI system can now do your job. So what happens when the technology we've spent decades building no longer needs us?
Is AI creating the greatest productivity boom in history or the largest white-collar job disruption we've ever seen? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to dive deep into how software engineers are actively being replaced, how customer service is being entirely transformed, and why marketing teams are suddenly shrinking. We're going to follow the trail of billion-dollar AI investments to figure out exactly which jobs may disappear next. So let's get right into it.
Chapter 1. The Modern AI Race, From Assistant to Competitor. Think back to the launch of modern generative AI, specifically ChatGPT's arrival. It felt like absolute magic, right? We had these incredible AI assistants that could write poems, summarize articles, and brainstorm ideas in seconds. And almost overnight, we saw this absolute explosion of AI adoption. Businesses rushed to implement these productivity tools because the competitive pressure was just immense. Every CEO, every board of directors was demanding to know what their AI strategy was. The corporate excitement was literally off the charts. But that excitement had a hidden edge to it. At first, AI looked like a helpful assistant, something to just make your day a little easier. Then, companies began asking a different question. If AI can assist workers and make them twice or even 3 times as fast, how many workers do we actually need? And that is where things get really interesting, because the answer to that question triggered an absolute earthquake in the corporate world. Chapter 2. The First Layoff Wave, Efficiency over Expansion. Suddenly, the headlines were just flooded with tech layoffs. We saw massive corporate restructuring and sweeping workforce reductions across companies that were previously famous for their endless perks and aggressive hiring. And the official PR statements usually cited cost-cutting or a return to strict efficiency targets. But if you looked closely at the job descriptions of the people being let go and the new automation integration strategies these same companies were bragging about to their shareholders, a much starker reality emerged. They were learning how to do the exact same amount of work with a fraction of the human capital. So you really have to ask yourself, were these layoffs really about economic conditions, or was something much bigger happening behind the scenes? Well, what happened next shocked many analysts, because the cuts didn't stop with just the tech sector. Chapter 3. Jobs under the axe. Old workflows versus AI workflows. Let's do a deep dive into the jobs AI is already changing right now. Take customer support. The old workflow meant massive call centers filled with human agents, handling everything from complex disputes to password resets. Now, the new workflow relies on highly sophisticated, incredibly natural-sounding chatbots working 24/7, instantly resolving a huge percentage of those tickets without a single human touch. Or look at content writing and marketing. We used to need armies of copywriters to draft emails, blog posts, and ad copy. Today, AI-generated content and automation tools can output hundreds of variations in the time it takes a human to write just one. The sheer volume of workforce needs in these areas is plummeting. But that's not even the most surprising part. Because you might be thinking, sure, basic writing and customer service, those are easy targets. But what about the highly technical roles? What about the people actually building the software? Well, large programming teams and manual data analysts are now facing the exact same algorithmic acts. AI coding assistants are now capable of writing entirely functional code blocks, debugging complex errors, and translating programming languages on the fly. Meanwhile, data analysts are competing against AI-powered insights that can ingest millions of rows of data and instantly generate comprehensive, beautifully charted reports. The old workflow required a team of 10 engineers and analysts. The new AI workflow might only need 2 or 3 to guide the AI. If these incredibly specialized, highly paid jobs can change this quickly, which profession is next? Is any white-collar job safe from this kind of disruption? Well, to really grasp where this is heading, we have to follow the money, because the real story begins here. Chapter 4. The billion-dollar boom, the race for dominance. We are currently witnessing a billion-dollar AI arms race. Tech giants are absolutely pouring billions, hundreds of billions, into immense new data centers and AI infrastructure. It is a sheer, brutal competition for total dominance. Look at the players. Microsoft is rapidly pushing enterprise integration, weaving AI into every piece of Office software you use. OpenAI is obsessively training larger and more capable foundational models. Google is completely re-architecting search and data integration from the ground up. Meta is spending fortunes to achieve open-source dominance. And sitting at the center of it all is NVIDIA, providing the incredibly complex, incredibly expensive hardware and chips required to run the whole show.
Every company fears being left behind, and that fear is fueling one of the largest technology spending booms in human history. Why does this matter for workers? Because this level of capital investment absolutely guarantees that the technology is going to get smarter, faster, and much more capable at an astonishing rate. The tools replacing old workflows today are the worst they are ever going to be.
Chapter 5. Who is most at risk? The algorithm's target. So let's break it down. Who exactly is most at risk? When we analyze the data, the most vulnerable positions are entry-level office jobs, administrative roles, routine data analysis, basic customer service, and essentially any form of repetitive knowledge work. If your day consists of taking data from column A, applying a set of predictable rules, and moving it to column B, you are standing directly in the algorithm's target. On the flip side, what jobs are likely to remain stronger? Skilled trades, like plumbing and electrical work, AI can't fix a leaky pipe. Healthcare and nursing, high-level leadership, roles deeply rooted in human relationship-based work, and positions requiring high-level, original creative strategy. But there is a massive silver lining here. The future may not belong to people who compete with AI. It may belong to those who learn how to work alongside it. The moment you stop seeing this technology as your replacement and start viewing it as the ultimate lever for your own productivity, everything shifts. Chapter 6. The Other Side of the Story. We need to zoom out and challenge some assumptions here, because historical technology disruptions have always sparked this exact same panic. During the Industrial Revolution, artisans were convinced machines would destroy all livelihoods. In the 20th century, the advent of computers terrified typists and administrative clerks. And in the 21st century, the internet completely upended traditional media and retail. And today, we're facing generative AI. But look at what actually happened in every single one of those historical examples. Yes, certain jobs disappeared, but they were replaced by massive productivity gains, unprecedented economic transformations, and crucially, the creation of entirely new job categories that nobody could have possibly imagined beforehand. Before the internet, there was no such thing as a social media manager or a cloud architect. Are we witnessing mass job destruction right now, or simply another chapter in technological evolution? The truth is, the human race has an incredible track record of innovating its way out of obsolescence. Final chapter. Who's next? So let's bring all these threads together and go back to that Tuesday morning scenario we started with. The biggest question isn't whether AI is coming, it's already here. It is fundamentally reshaping the global economy as we speak. The real question is, who adapts first? Every technological revolution creates winners and losers. The difference is usually not intelligence, it's adaptation. And in the age of AI, adaptation may become the most valuable skill of all. Because ultimately, the AI revolution isn't a story about machines, it's a story about people, and that story is only beginning. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I'll catch you in the next one.